Hi guys, my name is Sean. I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm standing here with an Epipremnum Cebu blue that is actually climbed pretty much all the way up high to the ceiling. And this was actually the plant that was in our Epipremnum Cebu blue care and propagation video. So I'm going to link that up above to learn about how to care and propagate them. This is actually the top cutting from the video, and I'm going to insert on the bottom of the video here, on the title here, how long ago that was, because it's important to see how long it takes for this plant to get this big. But it's gotten really huge. It's kept climbing up and it's fenestrated really beautifully. And I know that a lot of you guys are pretty shocked that Cebu blues can get so big. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually chop this up even more, and I'm going to count on the top cutting to get even biggerly. So I'm going to plant it back down in the pot and let it climb back up again. All right, so here's a quick tour, and the bottom leaf is actually all the way down here. The pot doesn't have to be very big at all. As you can see, that's a tiny pot. I actually quite like when the leaves are about this size. This is actually quite a manageable size for, let's say, if you're in an apartment or whatever, but it's grown up. Look at the aerial roots, look at that. Follow it up. Follow the aerial roots. It looks like it's trying to tell us something. It's got its own language. And the leaves, look at that, it's gotten huge. And it's gone all the way up. Look at that, it's already hit the top of the paranet there. So yeah, I literally have to cut it, and actually enlisted the help of my gardener to keep sliding moss as the new vines grow. So that was actually about a month ago that he started putting some moss there. So this is so that the roots can root into it, and when we take it down, it's going to be less stressful for the plant. But it also rained all day today, and then I actually just hosed this. The reason why the wall is wet is because I just hosed it down. I wanted this to be as wet as possible when I work with it, so that the roots can come off easily. Because when you damage the roots and then you propagate it, the roots may actually get infected. It may rot very easily. So I've got my knife here, and I'm climbing up a chair, trying to cut this off. Let me see, how many leaves do I want? I haven't actually decided. This is gonna need, I'm gonna cut it here first. Hang on, let me cut it here. Oh my god, this is harder than it is in my head. It was much easier in my head. Oh my god. Okay, so that's off. And in nature, when these guys get separated from the bottom here, whether it's, I don't know, an animal or something, it will, the top can survive, because like, all these roots up here can still give it nutrients. So watch my aerial root video, because I do explain aerial roots in that video, what they're for, and things like that. So I'm gonna just keep cutting it down. Oh my god, this is really hard. I've been really holding off doing this, really dreading it, but I knew it has to be done. Yeah, I should have gotten this knife, the zigzaggy knife that can go back and forth. You can kind of hack it, it can saw its way, because this is quite painful for the cutting when it's not a clean cut. Oh my goodness. Okay, my goodness, yeah, I'm just gonna break it. You know me, when I'm filming and I'm propagating, I'm not the most patient person. Okay, and try to take this top bit off. Look at how well it's attached. It's attached really well. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a lot of roots. Oh my god, I'm gonna give you guys some close-up later on what these guys look like. Oh my goodness, this is a pretty big task, and it's the end of the day, so I'm actually kind of tired, kind of over it in terms of working. I went to the gym today, so I'm a little bit exhausted. Let me see, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to pull it out gently, but I'm gonna lose a few roots. Yeah, it must be in so much pain when I yank it off. Okay. I may actually just cut until here, because for the rest, I actually hired a gardener here who takes care of my dog and the garden, and he can handle the rest, because actually I'm trying to train him so I don't have to care for everything myself, and he can also start propagating things here. Oh my goodness, yeah, that felt nice. I'm trying to find the growing eye here and I can't find it, which is not good. You should see the growing eye somehow before you cut things, because there should be something here where the new vine is going to grow out of. Let me check. Yeah, it should be around somewhere around here, right above. All right, because if we were gonna cut everything, first of all, we wouldn't really have the room, and what do you call it? I don't want to give you guys an update on everything. I just wanted to show you the top few cuttings. These have the thickest stems, which means they're going to sprout the biggest leaves moving forward. Keep in mind, the first leaf that come out of here is going to be teeny tiny. The second one is going to be pretty small, and then it's going to take them about 4 or 5 leaves to let them get to this size. So this is how big it is. Look at that. This is enormous. This is the top. This is huge. This is like botanical garden grade size. They are pretty fast growers. Again, check out that overview. They're actually easy to care for. The same way with your other aroids, bright in direct light. They do not want to be in low light. They will not produce this kind of leaf. And of course, a moss pole, or in this case, a wall or a tree, would benefit them. All right, this is my favorite part. Should get things prepared before I film, but I am always last minute. So now we've got pots. And actually, I want to do one more cut, I think. This top cutting here, it's got 3 leaves. And look at the bottom here. This is so crazy. That's the roots that were attached to the wall. I don't see a lot of damage here so far, thankfully. But yeah, these are some massive, and that leaf, it's worrisome because this is still soft. Normally with top cuttings, I would propagate it in water, but this one actually has a decent amount of roots. My goodness, can you imagine in nature, they actually cling on to things really, really well. These guys are really prolific climbers. They're survivors. And because they're so fast growing, they're not expensive. Well, at least not anymore. I think in the past, they used to be a lot more expensive for everyone. It just started to rain. Not again. This rainy season is driving me bonkers. A lot of plants have died actually, because it's actually the middle of March now. And the rainy season should have been over, but it's not. So what's up with that? I don't understand. Oh yeah, and if it's not abundantly clear, this is my aroid potting mix. Duh, I use it on all my aroids or epiphytes like Hoyas and things like that. That video, I can link that up above. I do sell them, but you are more than welcome to make your own. Or if you live in a different area with different accessibility to raw materials, feel free to kind of replicate it. Basically, you want things to be chunky because you want to fold these guys to think that they're climbing up something, a wall or something. This is how they will invest in bigger leaves. And also when you have a chunky potting mix like this, you're not as likely to overwater it. There's gonna be a lot of nice air movement in there. So this is my top cutting right here. I know this is one of my biggest propagations so far, and how beautiful is that? Yeah, so this is the close-up of the potting mix. I may not even water it today yet, because actually when you propagate a plant like this, that is so thick, it's got roots, it's got big leaves, they actually have a lot of stored up energy. And I do fertilize these quite often these days. I have a fertilizing regime now. Where possible, when you propagate something, try to fertilize it beforehand, because they will store that extra nutrients and they will increase your chances of success when you propagate. I really hope I don't kill these. This is my first time propagating something so big, although I have propagated my huge Monstera deliciosa. Yeah, that video is pretty interesting too. Feel free to check it out. I'm going to link that up above. Yeah, I think the key to these guys is just not to overwater them, because again, these roots are not water roots. In my aerial roots video, I did mention that roots, there are many different types. There's water roots, there's soil roots, and then there's aerial roots, which actually lives, in the air. It grips onto things, so it's got different properties. And if you want one root to transition to the other, you do need to give them time. So I would actually back off with watering for now and slowly increase watering. So that's 2 down. Look at how beautiful, my goodness. How beautiful is that? Wow. They don't mind being indoors. But if you want them to have these beautiful aerial roots here, you do need to have them on a moss pole. You need to wet the pole every day, whenever you can, in fact. When it's outdoors, it's higher humidity, they're more likely to put out their grabby aerial roots. But there's another version of this that is a lighter, even more bluish. Because I remember these guys, if you saw my earlier video, they used to be a lot more silver, they used to be a lot more blue. That may have to do with, one, either their juvenile form, it's just their color, or it could also be a factor of light, because these guys do respond to light. And I'm guessing more light might mean that it will be more silver or light bluish. Oh, and I will use a lot of slow release fertilizer on these because they're so big, and they're not going to release the nutrients right away. It's going to release over time into the soil, and there's already enough roots here so they can start taking in nutrients. I'm going to start them early. Keep in mind, when you have bigger pots like this, you want to fertilize more. This usually with my propagation videos, I use like 10 centimeter diameter or small, tiny pots, so I would only use a little bit. With these guys, you may want to triple or quadruple the normal amount. So I'm going to give them a little bit of pesticide, keep them out. It's raining now, so I'm going to keep them out of the rain for today, just today. And then yeah, we will water them tomorrow, and then I'll give you guys a few months update. I hope that they do fine. Here is a 6 weeks update. These guys are actually getting medium indirect light. The window is actually way over here, and they're doing really well. This may actually be the last update. I know normally my updates span a little bit longer, but this one has put out a new vine here, and this one has put out 2 new leaves. And the leaves are so cute. They're tiny, but then they're fenestrated. Look at that. And look at all the little dots in the center of the leaf. This is so beautiful. And this is what the mama leaf looked like. It's insanely huge. And this is the top cutting here. And the top cutting, the first leaf is of course a little bit crumpled up. It's not doing that well, but a new leaf is trying to emerge. Hang on, let me try to save it. Maybe it's stuck in here. Because sometimes it's stressed out. New leaves actually require quite a lot of water to survive. Yeah, this is a little bit, yeah, you can tell here. It's a bit crispy. So this plant is actually busy putting out new roots. So it's not taking enough water. So this is what happens when it's trying to put out a leaf and it's not getting enough water. But don't worry, when this one dies off, another sharp point will emerge from the center here to come out. I'm really surprised that the mid-section cuttings are doing better for these plants. This one is also wonderfully fenestrated. It's not opened up yet. And this one here, look at how big. Oh my gosh, I love these guys. I don't even know what to do with so many of them. Yeah, look at that one. It's putting out a new leaf here. But I do need to give the one a pull very quickly. And just quickly to show you a bit of care, I water these every 3 to 4 days. And I water it a little bit lightly, because this is indoors, it's not dried up as quickly as it will be outdoors. So yeah, I guess, hang on, let me show you another one. These empty pots are the ones that my gardener cut up right after our video. And then he put them outside because I told him to, and it got rained on. So all the stems turned to, all the leaves, sorry, turned yellow very quickly within 3 days, and they fell off. So we just kept them in here. Look at that, and there's a new sign of growth. So I think some of them are still alive in here somehow, but this is completely not related to us. Do not put these in the rain outside. Your cuttings need to be kept a little bit on the dry side, lightly humid. So yeah, there's a big difference. All of the ones that we did basically survived, and they're doing really well. Yeah, for big cuttings like these, because they have a thick stem, as long as you don't overwater it, you let them kind of root and put out new leaves, they will grow very quickly. This is incredibly adorable. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm a botanist on Instagram. If you want to DM me on any questions regarding plant care and propagations, I'll try my best to get back to you. Meanwhile, do take care and stay safe. I will see you in the next video. Bye.